Chooks.
Hello, Demola. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And you?
You're looking elegant as usual.
Thank you.
Yes. Jumai,
No.
the pair, good to go.
Yeah, we're
You've
good
already
to go.
started off anyway.
We're good to go. Chukudi, it's good to see you this morning.
Same
We
here.
have some papers. Are you starting or should I begin?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I have the leadership newspaper, and just above the masthead, court refuses to stop Shuaibu's impeachment. Want to know why? Find details on page 7. Again, National Assembly extends 2023 budget's lifespan. Details on page 24. Going down below the masthead, just by the picture story, CBN clears valid FX transactions, eliminates $7 billion legacy backlog. You find the details on page 23. Inferno raises 40 shops in Kano. You can see the picture. That's the first one by your left. You find the details on page 17. NLC demands Abore's resignation as Labour Party chairman. You have to know why they are demanding for his resignation. You go to page 7. Suit against elections examinations on Saturdays dismissed. Details on page 8. And the headlines in the leadership newspaper: Post-Petroleum Industry Act, operators exploiting gaps to under-declare crude output. With riders, Tinubu's executive orders will enhance implementation. That's coming from experts in the oil sector. One future of nation's oil sector depends on the PIA. Find the details on page 4. Senate service chiefs meet on killing of 17 soldiers, officers. Find all the details on page 17. And the picture story you see there, the fire incident that razed shops at Zuachiki area of Kano State and Dosumu area of Idumota in Lagos yesterday. That's about what we have in the leadership newspaper.
Okay, I have two newspapers with me. The first one is Nigerian Pilot. And above, below the nameplate, slain soldiers, military needs support to fish out culprits. Governor Diri. That story, it's on page 6. Reps pass judicial officer salaries bill. CJM to earn 5.39 million naira monthly. Exposed. Federal government exposes 9 persons, 6 BDCs as those behind terrorism financing in Nigeria. Those named include Kaduna-based publisher Tukur Mamu, Yusuf Ghazali, and 7 others. The 6 BDCs include West and East African General Trading Company, among others. That all funds, assets, other resources belonging to them shall be frozen without notice. That story is on page 4. Again, court refuses to stop impeachment of Edo deputy governor. The story is on page 6. LP crisis deepens as NLC storms National Secretariat, demands Abure's resignation. Senate passes Student Loan Act bill. Poor planning, bane of Nigeria's social economic problem, says Obaseki. Rising debt, don't mortgage our future. Trade unions caution African governments. Police crucial in facilitating ease of doing business, says the minister. The story can be found on page 5. Senate moves to tackle 20 million out of school children menace. Now we move to the Vanguard newspapers. Vanguard newspaper, above the nameplate, we have CBN clears valid foreign exchange backlog. That story, it's on page 19. Salary structure for judicial officers, CJN to earn 5.4 million naira monthly. NLC Labour Party locked in supremacy battle. That story can be found on page 9. Army blames low fence, absence of CCTV for Kuje prisons break. The story is on page 28. And below the nameplate, we have the killings. Troops comb Bayelsa Delta Creeks for militant leader. I think every other thing has been mentioned earlier. There's just this Mr. and Mrs. Very interesting, Chooks. It's like just because I gave our neighbors some uncooked rice, you started shouting at me. You were not like this when I married you. And the man replied, the economy was not like this when you married me.
You know, when people
when
people say that love is all you need for a marriage to work, that's theory.
It's not practical.
There are different levels of tolerance of hardship. Some people stay longer on the turf than others. Then some people need help. Some marriages are challenged by economic circumstances.
Indeed.
That's it. But love retains mine by God's grace. Let me quickly look at about 4 things now. 157 soldiers head for South Sudan on peacekeeping operation. Let them keep up the good name of Nigeria anytime they are sent out for this kind of work. I was watching the BBC yesterday and they captioned what's happening in Sudan, the forgotten war. And I saw penury, I saw agony from people who are largely black population of Sudan, you know. So we are happy that this is happening. That war should not be forgotten. Anywhere human beings are suffering should always be focused on. That's why I like what is now happening in Gaza. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Then July 5, 2022, Kuje jailbreak, the COAS, that's Lieutenant General Taurid Labaja was telling the House of Reps that, you know, part of the problem is absence of CCTV. Jumai, can you believe that?
You don't have CCTV?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let's not go. It just doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't, please. Let's do that which is right.
Yes.
By ourselves so that we can keep on making progress in life. New bill raises service conditions for judges, others. There is no excuse for corruption anywhere. But sometimes poor salaries can make a man do what he shouldn't do.
Especially
our judges should be well paid. Our judicial officers should be well paid. Our journalists should be well paid.
I'm joining my voice to that. Our journalists should be well paid.
I am not saying this
so they should
to
not
make us happy.
keep accusing us of collecting brown envelope.
I said the other time, if politicians think they have vanquished journalism in Nigeria, they haven't vanquished journalism in Nigeria. It's Nigeria they have dealt with. When members of the fourth estate of the realm can no longer assert authority in reportage, the country suffers ultimately.
Yes, it does.
And one of the reasons is that some of us are too wretched not to resist that brown envelope the man is throwing at you as if he's throwing crumbs to a dog. So it's not just the judiciary. I just found opportunity to talk about us. Very important. Then Senate House passed student loan bill. The other time we talked about it. And some of the conditions that have been relaxed should be commended so that it doesn't seem to have a discriminatory trail. It would have edged out some people, but now that it has been thrown a little more open, humanity, a humane, outlook has been loaned to it, and I think that's very important. I was watching a TV station yesterday, and the Delta State Commissioner of Police, Sabani Wanda, very erudite man, I had never listened to him speak, very erudite, was cautiously treading through why it's only soldiers that are there and all that. He said, no, I have my police formations in the place, I have my intelligence, but if you think that the way we work is for both police and the army to get into the theater of conflict, crisis and all that, that's not exactly how it happens. Very diplomatic at the end of the day, but he warned the people because they were really prying. They said, why would it not be the police? Why is it the army? When is the police going to step in? And the man kept saying, I have my intelligence people there. I have my police outposts there. And made a point that Otu Jeremy, where you have Okwama, and Okoloba, Otu Jeremy is where you have Okwama, and Okoloba is in Bomodi. and that there are different police divisions. Because when these things happen, we begin to mass too many things together, and social media does not help at all.
Doesn't at all. Some of the videos, I think, is even from Rwanda.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you.
But-
They just mix the videos and just edit it
But
and just bring it out.
most
that's a
times-
height of
Nigerians just swallow it.
irresponsibility.
Yes.
Most times those videos are recycled.
They are
I mean, you
recycled.
find that a video of 2000, they will just bring it up again as if it's just happening. And that's why it's always very vital for you to verify before you start reposting it to other people.
Demola, if I can just squeeze this in, you know the most nauseating aspect of it? Some people who are masters holders, who are graduates,
Believe it.
are even helped to spread those things.
Yes.
And they say, what do they have in their skull for brain? It's unfortunate.
Really unfortunate. Well, Chooks, I don't know if you have been following the African Games. Nigeria is doing very well at the African Games. Yesterday, the athletes were doing, they did so well. The 100 meters and the 4x100 meters relay, they won gold medals. I almost saw Okeze win gold as Nigeria holds tight to second position. Right now we have 35 gold, 23 silver, 32 bronze medals, and we are second on the table. So I think we're doing well.
Demola, I have not been following religiously, but let me quickly say this.
In fact, if you saw the 4x100 meters relay for the men, the guy actually finished the relay with his last breath because the Ghanaian was all he wanted to take up the thing, but the guy was like, no way. This time you beat us on our own soil. This time around we are taking the gold from your own.
He must have been goaded by Vulua Sepulveda to wish or want is to be able.
Yeah.
When you have that, nothing can stop you.
It was a tight race.
But I wanted to say, you're talking about sport. The green, white, green boasts of people who are number one wherever they are. Nigeria is like that. We know they carry last.
At all.
Go to America and they will tell you that the black community in the United States that is showing more academic laurels and their excellence, they come from the green, white, green Nigeria. That's the way we are. It's just for us to get our act together, put our act together here, and Nigeria is unstoppable in terms of development, of self-development.
Yes,
That's what I think.
We've got the human resources, like I always say, we've got the best brains in the world.
They've practically taken
Anywhere you
all
go
our
and
surgeons.
Nigeria is not there, just pack your things and leave.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. There's nothing there. You
can't stop
nothing.
them.
You can't stop us.
You
Well,
can't
you
stop
know,
This,
we're
this,
like
issue, this tussle in Edo State, the court refuses to stop the impeachment of Edo deputy governor. I don't know. I mean, the guy just has like 3-4 months to go. So why not just leave him and let him just go? Was you tamed?
What was the song we sang at the other time? He's a man of many words. That's talking about. Oh, sorry, my dear.
Yes.
Jumai is fasting. You should not get into a hilarious mood. Yeah, be sober, please. They are talking about the politician. He's a man of many words.
Yes.
Shuaibu has just a few to go.
Just for
And you're talking about impeachment. He served the country. He's still serving the country. There are times when you have to allow a little show of dignity to see a man through. Enmity should not exist when you're in public office and all that. We want Shuam. What do you want Shuam?
That means he's going without benefits.
It doesn't make sense to me.
They
But
just want
again,
to take everything away from him.
politicians are a different breed
just to taint
entirely.
his record. That's
Yes,
just the thing.
yes.
They are a different breed entirely. You cannot know what is happening in their medulla oblongata. I hope you used that term in primary school.
Yes,
In
Yeah.
secondary
You
school,
didn't know what it meant.
When somebody with long throats.
Some people were putting that in the
What
love
is-
letters.
what
were
is
writing
your medulla
medulla oblongata? No, medulla. But we enjoyed ourselves in those days, come to think of it.
You're my Bobby, my tea.
People will call me to come and write letters for them.
Hi.
You know, I go from one
So
village to
you were one of those.
I was one of
those love letters.
Letters.
Yes. But one guy was called.
If not dosiology.
If not the Then a boy was asked to write a letter. He got to a stage of it and wrote something close to Isienene climbed a yam. Up until today, they are trying to decode what he was talking about.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I love this country. I love
Nigeria.
us. I love our people.
Nigeria.
I love Nigerians.
When I tell you I was a proud person when I had that reinforced plastic cup,
Yes.
the green, white, green flag. My mom tied a wrapper on it when my jumper was dirty that day, so I couldn't wear it to,
Yes.
you know. And that was just 2.5 years, 3 years. But I remembered everything,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Nigeria was Nigeria. How can we relive it? And I keep on saying, where is the National Orientation Agency to remind us who we were? Our children are disconnected from our roots. Culturally even, they are no longer in Singapore or Ghana or Nigeria. They are hanging somewhere there.
Yes.
They don't. Our children don't have a cultural identity anymore. Anything goes, and people blame the internet. And I say, don't the Japanese have the internet? They are still intact in terms of their
But
culture.
they've been able to control their own internet.
That's the point.
That is the point.
Because they start from cradle to tell the child, this is who we are.
That is the challenge that we have.
I just heard that America too is going to ban TikTok from America.
Yeah, the House of Reps has actually moved against it.
Ban TikTok because that's where all the rubbish goes into. When you see the TikTok in China, it's all about education, enlightenment, you know, and teaching the younger generation. Yes. And abuse comes in. But here in Nigeria, when you go on TikTok or Twitter, oh my God! At times I just feel, well,
we need to let our children know that there are red lines in life.
Yes.
Chukwudi, what's the meaning of your name?
God exists. Okay. Don't I talk like somebody who believes in the Almighty?
You are really existent.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It makes me a robust man every time. But sometimes I don't know why this happens. Because there are days actually I don't have money for fuel.
Well, on that note,
On that note, shut up, Chukwudi. I've got the rest of the
God's
message.
child, it's time for you to go. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate you. We'll take